Hey guys, so today I thought what I would do is take you through an old scrapbooking album of mine. These are like from back in the early 2000s. It's not my first scrapbook album, but it's one of my first complete scrapbook albums. They're not in sequential order, they're not in any particular order at all really. They're just layouts that are thrown in here. Now, this album was one of my favorites at the time. It's a full embossed cover. The colors are just so beautiful, and it's by K & Company, and it's a post-bound album. D-rings were just starting to come in, but weren't that amazing. Everyone stuck with their post-bounds. So, I'm just going to look up here and make sure you can see all right. There we go. So this is the first layout in my album. It is a picture of me when I was younger, and it's just got a lot of random words for some reason. And I was really into inking everything in pine cone ink. I think it was the Versacolor or whatever it's called, pine cone. That was the in color back then, and inking everything. But I was still very much into my doodling and drawing around things back then. So that's the first one. Oh, there was these lovely metal flower brads. I love those. And the good old making memories chipboard alphabets. They were the thickers of yesteryear. Now this is a double page spread, so I'll show you the first one. This one is of my brother and I did a fair bit of paper piecing around here and cutting out. I hand cut this circle and hand punched the little circles and stuck them all on with, they've actually got foam dots behind them. And the alphas as well. They're stickers that I matted onto some cardstock and then cut out by hand and put on pop dots as well. Still into my bling back in the day. Oh dear. And spelling things wrong, like forever with an A. And this is the other side. I just did the reverse colours. More paper piecing, but yeah, blue with pink. My journaling really hasn't changed much. I read it and still think like that is me. Here's one big bold date. This is 2006, this one. This was my 21st birthday. And these were my friends from high school and my best friend from high school that surprised me for my 21st birthday party. And that's just a really nice photo to still have. Like, I don't know where any of the digital copies of these photos have gone. So it's nice to have this still in the album and to be able to see it. The pages are quite warped from the amount of different layers and whatnot I put on here. This is all paper pieced, hand cut letters and hand written journaling. You can tell I was teaching because my handwriting is very proper. This is one of my sister's friends, which is basically a family friend. And Fussy cut all these flowers and alphas. I think I hand cut those as well from a stencil. Once again, this is all inked in pine cone and paper piecing in the background. Oh my goodness, like, why? And here's a few more. This one is of my parents. Very old photo of them. And I just tried to replicate my mother's dress. So I hand stitched every single little thing over the top here. Like, oh my gosh, that must have taken me for ages. Like, that's crazy. Hand stamped with making memories stamps, I do believe, in a blue ink. And this is all hand cut and paper pieced together, the triangles. Unbelievable. Like, who does that? And I always have these big journaling blocks to journal on. Let's read this actually, this is funny. This is a perfect photo for the perfect couple. You two are so beautiful, loyal and wonderful parents. I hope one day to be in a relationship that is as balanced as yours. Your love for each other will always be so colourful. Oh. And I've just got married. How? That's really interesting. Oh no, I've lost an R. Are these stickers? Are these the new, like the first stickers that were invented? They're a chipboard alpha, whatever they are. And this paper here, this green with the flowers on it, was by SEI. And it was the in paper back in the day. That was the paper to have, yeah, you know, that was the first paper I actually really hoarded. Then in the background I've got these rub-ons, and I actually hand doodled around the whole green space. These little Prima flowers I think I got off eBay once upon a time, and I was so in love with them, and I had so many of them. I still have some somewhere. Not in the pink though, because I used them all up. But I loved that layout with the rickrack and the big flowers. It was just, loved it. Here's a blue layout of my little sister. I was fortunate enough to have a sister that was quite younger than me, and I was able to get her to take photos, and so many photos it wasn't funny. I ended up putting a blue filter on these photos and collaged them all together, and then had these, I don't know whether I cut these out by hand or if they were a pre-cut flower, but I just laid them all along here and then hand cut the title. I can see it's not very well done. Stickers up the top and a few brads and bling. Like I said, the bling has never left me. I've always had the bling. This one here is of a tree outside our house, actually at the farm where we're living now. And this is just talking about home and family and love and support, and just journaling that sort of homely feel. And I actually use brown. I don't think I would ever do a full brown layout like this, but distressing on the chipboard alphas, some hand stitching on the crosses, and doodling in the background. I was really into paper piecing, wasn't I? Getting as many different patterns as I could on a layout. This is just bizarre. These papers are a basic grey paper from memory, I do believe. More chipboard alphas. This is my sister and her friend Ellie, I do believe. Back in the day, 2007, at a sports carnival at high school, and they were in the blue house team. This is my adopted purple-breasted swamp hen, which is a wild swamp bird, but I found it as a chick on the road and it was run over, and so I took it in and raised it. And we had him for, I think it was her, it ended up being for about 2 or 3 years. And then she ended up getting so reliant on herself that she just sort of went and found a mate, I'm guessing. But she used to live in our greenhouse. We had a really huge greenhouse, and that's where she lived. But look, I've got felt piecing over the top here, rickrack, more felt, chipboard, rickrack, and I've even got a rub on that I've actually rubbed on over the top of felt. Oh my gosh, and then I've hand doodled the rest of this to match in. This was a 2006 one. This one, summer colour, so these are just some photos of flowers that I took out at our house. And I hand doodled these dandelions in there. Very simple, not a documented, journaled piece, but you get the picture. This one is supposed to say innocence and beauty, but the eye has gone missing. And I hand sewed these beads onto the middle of each of these silk flowers, fabric flowers I suppose you call them. And then by the looks here, I've painted this on with white paint, and then I don't know where I got these shapes from, but I've then hand drawn over the top. So I don't know what happened there. I don't know how I did that, but that was obviously my artistic side coming out. And look, journaling on top of the photos and doodling around my face. I was not afraid of it then, I'm not afraid of it now. But yeah, A lot of browns back then. I used an awful lot of browns. This was epic. This was for a challenge on, what was it? Scrap Apple or something? Scrappable? I'm not sure, but they had this challenge thing and we had to do our space and our dream space. So I did a double page layout of what my space looked like now. This was my space at university. So it's really strange to sort of look at this and see my scrap space back then when I was at university in my house. And then to look at my dream room, which is this one over here. And look, I hand cut all of these circles and stuck them on and then painted over the top and did mixed media and all that sort of stuff back then. Must be pink, love pink. Drawn my computer. These are all hand drawn little diagrams and bits and pieces. Beaded curtains. Oh, there's the eye from Ideas. Pop that back in there. Desk with storage. Wow, it really did not change that much from what I had at the current stage, but oh well. Must have plants. Apparently I had a green thumb back then. So that was probably my most complex in detail layout. This one is one of my sister and her friends at high school. I put all their names on there, even though I don't know who Nicole is, but oh well. I know the other two and my sister. And I've done buttons and paper piecing, and I've actually painted over these chipboard letters and had the negative space cut out so I could use the E's because I ran out of E's. Surprise, surprise. More journaling blocks, and I was working on the backs of pattern paper. A lot of matting and inking still. This is another one of my favorite layouts at the time, I think. It was just a really nice photo of my sister that I really liked. The light was on her beautifully, and I really liked how it showed up her blue eyes perfectly. She hates every photo I took of her back in the day, but fussy cutting, flowers, inking, alphas, negative space, stickers, pattern paper. These pattern papers, oh, who were they by? Oh, I wonder if it's on the back of the layout. Because, you know, back in the day they didn't have branding strips. It was actually printed on the back of the paper. No. But, oh my goodness. I loved those papers. And actually because while I was at university, I became really good friends with the local scrapbook shop owner. To the point where at the end of my university, I only had 6 months left and I didn't want to take out another 12-month lease. She let me stay at her house in the granny flat for 6 months while I completed my degree. And look at that, I've just ruined the page by taking it out of the protector. Ah! So, oh no, look, I've really destroyed the opposite page as well. So yeah, I had a lot of access to scrapbooking supplies back in the day. And I suppose I still do. I've always been very in the industry. But yeah, those times living with Diane were the best. Just, I loved it. It was so great. So yeah, I love this layout. I love it's pink and it's that chartreuse green. I still love that combination. But yeah. This is another one. This is just, I've just destroyed it, but photos of me that someone has taken, either my sister or my mother. University age again. And just talking about the colour pink and how I feel so pretty in the colour pink, and it's always been my power colour. And as you can see, it was back then, it still is now. Using the bling and the flowers and just paper strips for journaling. Doodling. Felt. I was crazy about the felt back in the day, wasn't I? Oh my goodness, and rickrack. Couldn't get enough of the rickrack. And then this one here. Whoop, bump the camera. I don't know what this one is. So this is a photo. This is a scrapbook page about all my embellishments. So I think a lot of these were for it was like a Project Runway style competition, and it was done over a series of weeks, and it, you know, added up and tallied up, and yeah, you had all these points, and we had to do different categories. And so this one was about embellishments, and that's why I took all these photos of different embellishments, all my flowers and my inks that I still have today, you know, my pin board, how I store my brads and little bits and pieces, and my alphas. And these are all hand cut flowers that are inked and crinkled up to give them a three-dimensional look, and then popped under with some pop dots, I think. Yep, a little bit of bling, some brads, a mixture of alphabets, which I really like that idea, and I might even scrap lift that on a future layout, because I like how that's turned out. And scallops. This is when scallops started coming into style and being a really huge thing. And the last one, oh, this was, what is the go with all this brown, guys? Oh my gosh, I was living in the brown back then. But this was one of our dogs, believe it or not, Demi, purebred English Springer Spaniel, and she was just adorable. Ended up dying of lupus, which is a blood disease that occurs in a lot of female English Springer dogs. So we actually had, we've had 2 English Springers now that have died of this disease, both female, both around the same age. And then our male Springer that we had, Rocky, he actually died of old age. We actually had to put him down because he was so old and just couldn't function. But they are beautiful dogs, and we love our Springers so much, and it was really hard for my mum to sort of say goodbye to Demi. And so I think I made this layout for her. And I'm going to start crying. That's really sad. But yeah, back in with the rickrack, and I did like a sun rays kind of thing with a big love heart with journaling in the middle. I probably should have backed this with something so you could see the journaling a bit better, but I liked that you could see the photo through it. And I really like this heart. I really like how I did it with the flowers and then sewed through the middle of each one. I do really like how that turned out. But yeah, as you can see from that album, my style is very much the same as what it is now. It's just more up to date with the current times. I was always into pink, always into bling, always into doodling, you know, those kinds of things never change. So that is the walk through my first scrapbook album, old scrapbook album. I have another one here that I will go through and show you. I don't actually know what's in it, so I'll have a look through it first and then do a walkthrough with you. But thank you so much for watching that. I hope you enjoyed that little look at my old layouts, and I will see you all tomorrow with another video. Thank you guys, love you so much. Bye bye. Hey guys, so I hope you enjoyed that little run through of one of my old scrapbooking albums. I really enjoyed going back through that album and having a look at some of the layouts I did and reminiscing on old times. That is the pure joy of scrapbooks, honestly. Like, I cannot believe, like, in a few years' time, I'll probably look at my Project Life albums and just be in awe of, like, my life back in the day and what I did and all that jazz. But thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to thumbs up and comment on this video if you have any comments. I love hearing from you. I like replying and chatting and all that kind of stuff. I'm having upload issues at the moment, like massive upload issues with my internet provider. So hopefully I'm going to be getting videos up 5 days a week. We will see. But for now, click on the links on the video and they'll take you back to old Hey Nay Daily videos, old Nay Daily channel, Scrappery channel, all that jazz. You know the deal. And I'll see you all next time, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Love you. Bye.